Hello everyone and welcome back inside Bosse Field here in Evansville, Indiana, as your Evansville Otters take on the Washington Wild Things for the second time in as many weeks. I'm Riley Angel alongside Lucas Macklin. Lucas, boy, with Washington coming to town and Evansville coming off of another home series win, this is one that you would really like, as Washington coming in the leader in the Central Division.
Yeah, anytime you have to go up against your division leader, especially the way Washington's been playing, you know it means a lot. They got a split the last time they were here. Obviously, we've been playing 4 games here in these next 3 days. If you can get another series win here, that is a huge step in the right direction, not only just trying to get back in the standings and potentially even just fight for a wild card spot, but also just to even try to gain in the division as well.
Now, Washington is coming into this matchup with a lot of momentum. They had a doubleheader against Joliet. And in the first game of that doubleheader against the Slammers, they had a walk-off winner in the 7th inning, that final 8-7. And then in the second game, another walk-off win. That one, a 4-run 7th inning, leading to a 6-4 victory. They're really feeling themselves coming in to begin this road trip.
Yeah, just kind of what we saw with the Otters, especially in the final game of our doubleheader. Just not dying, even whenever you get down and it looks like you're out of it. Just continue fighting at bat by at bat and continue to just know that you're still alive in a game. Obviously, this team has shown that a lot, but the Otters have shown that a ton here at Bosse Field. That's why they have a 12-7 record at home, and it's going to be a really fun series against a couple of really good squads.
A pitcher's duel to begin things here today, at least on paper it seems that way. Braden Scott, Evansville's ace, goes on the mound here tonight. He is faced by Kobe Foster. First, let's talk about Braden Scott a little bit. Last time out against Lake Erie, went 7 strong innings. That was the longest outing by an Evansville Otter this season. Hopefully he can come in here and replicate some of that success he had against the Crushers.
Yeah, and what he did was keep the Otters in a ball game. It gave up 3 runs, 2 of them earned through 7 innings. Being able to go length with quality, pitching is really huge. So if he can do something similar today, obviously we said this before with how good this offense can be for Evansville, that kind of start is exactly what you want to see from him, and we've seen some really, really good starts, especially his last 2. Against Washington, and his last time facing them went 6 innings, gave up only 1 run. So he's proven he can do it, and excited to see what he can do today.
Now he's opposed by a guy in Kobe Foster who has decimated this Evansville team in the past. He has just over 50 innings of work against them, an ERA at 1.77. Man, he is just really good against Evansville and really good in general.
Yeah, he is really a Frontier League legend. This is his 4th season with Washington. Back in 22, in his first season with them, pitched in 11 games, 10 of those being starts, 63 innings, had exactly a 1 ERA. He's had 2 other seasons with sub-3 ERAs. He comes in. This only his 2nd start of the season, just was signed on June 11th. But in that start, went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, only allowing 1 run. And then in the history against the Otters, he's pitched in 8 games, and he's pitched 50 innings. He has a 5-0 record. He's only given up 10 runs. He has been very good against these Otters, and it's going to be a challenge for them to try to get to him today.
You're listening to the Papa John's pregame show. Papa John's is the official sponsor of the Otters pregame and postgame shows, available every game night, 20 minutes before and 10 minutes after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network, the Home Team Network, and now on 96.9 WYIR. Speaking of the Home Team Network is the exclusive home of every Frontier League game this year. Check out Home Team Network to sign up today and get a front row seat to every Otters game in 2025. When we come back, we'll look at each starting lineup and talk a little bit more about this matchup. You're listening on 96.9 WYIR on the Otters Digital Network.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and more can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org. For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville-Vanderburgh Public Library. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND-CASA.com. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org.
Back here inside Bosse Field for this first game of this 4-game set between Evansville and the Washington Wild Things. You're listening to the Papa John's pregame show. Papa John's is the official sponsor of the Otters pregame and postgame shows, available every game night, 20 minutes before and 10 minutes after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network, the Home Team Network, and now on 96.9 WYIR. I'm Riley Angel alongside Lucas Macklin, and this one, a 4-game set because of a rainout earlier this year, and man, so important for Evansville to get this one started on the right foot tonight.
Yeah, the Otters currently trying to chase Washington as well as everyone else in the Central Division. Stand 4.5 games back as of today, but if you can get some wins here, potentially even win the series in this 4-game set, you can really start to claw back some of that distance between you and Washington. And really, you're kind of looking between everybody in the Central Division because everyone's kind of in the running, if not for the division win, at least one of those wild card spots that comes in afterwards.
Let's take a look at both starting lineups, starting with the visiting Washington Wild Things. Batting leadoff in right field, Cale Chatham, followed by the shortstop, Ethan Wilder. Batting third baseman, Tommy Caulfield. Cleaning it up, Tyreek Reed, the DH. Batting fifth, Andrew Check, big left-handed hitter, is playing first base. Wagner Lagrange, left fielder, batting sixth. Batting seventh, Robert Chaka. He is playing center field here tonight. In the 8th spot, second baseman, Sammy Infante. And rounding it out, the catcher, Willie Estrada, on the mound, Kobe Foster. We'll talk about him here in a second. For Evansville, a bit of a change at the top of the order. Dennis Pierce playing third base tonight, followed by Graham Brown in center field. J.T. Benson in right, batting third. Cleaning it up, Pavin Parks at shortstop. Batting fifth, the left fielder, L.J. Jones. DHing tonight and batting sixth, Keenan Taylor. At first base, Logan Brown. He is batting seventh. In the 8th spot, catcher, Justin Felix. And rounding it out at second base tonight, Alay Camus. On the bump for Evansville, their ace, Braden Scott. Dennis Pierce at third tonight. Man, if he can play a quality third base, that opens so many spots in the outfield for a lot of quality hitters.
Yeah, and there were a lot of different roster moves, but maybe the biggest one, the most eye-opening one, is David Mendham off the IL. Isn't in the starting lineup tonight against the left-handed starting Kobe Foster, but if with Mendham eventually going back to first base and L.J. Jones back into the outfield, getting one of those guys, either Dennis Pierce or Graham Brown, into the infield, or even Keenan Taylor, is going to be huge to keep those guys in the lineup with their bats that have been so good so far this year.
We talked about him a bit earlier, but boy, it's going to be huge if Evansville can get a quick start against the starter for Washington, the left-hander Kobe Foster.
Yeah, and obviously he's been very good against the Otters, but in his last couple starts that he faced them last year, they did really get into him, including a start on July 10th. They scored 4 runs on him. He gave up 11 hits, which is his pro career high. So they've shown they can hit this guy. Some of these guys on this roster have seen him before, so hopefully they can go out there and just work some long at-bats and make him work. And even if you aren't scoring a ton of runs, if you can make him work and hopefully get him out after 5 or 6 innings, that can be really huge for you, not just for this game, but for the next 3 games that are happening this week, getting into the Washington's bullpen.
Another divisional matchup happening tonight. It is Florence taking on Joliet, and then Lake Erie taking on New Jersey. Tonight, boy, would it be nice for Joliet to overtake Florence here tonight, especially given that Florence won their series against Lake Erie. And Lake Erie against New Jersey, maybe New Jersey can pull up a shocker there.
Yeah, again, it's just obviously you're hoping that you win while your division foes lose. Joliet weren't able to take a game against Washington in their last series. They just faced them, but hopefully they can do a little bit better against Florence.
You're watching on the Home Team Network. Home Team Network is the exclusive home of every Frontier League game this year. Check out Home Team Network to sign up today and get a front row seat to every Otters game this season. When we come back, you'll hear St. Clodfelter with the starting lineups and the national anthem. Then finally time for first pitch. You're listening on 96.9 WYR on the Otters Digital Network.
For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville-Vanderburgh Public Library. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VANDCASA.com. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and More can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800.
And they're powered by Chironis. Edward Jones, leadoff batter. The third baseman, number 10, Dennis Pierce. His baseball buddy is Weston. Batting second, the center fielder, number 24, Graham Brown. Batting third, the right fielder, number 9, JT Benson. Batting fourth, the shortstop, number 11, Haven Parks, joined by his baseball buddy, Owen. Batting fifth, the left fielder, number 20, L.J. Jones. Batting sixth, designated hitter, number 12, Keenan Taylor. Batting seventh, the first baseman, number 28, Logan Brown. His baseball buddies, Leo and Cam. Batting eighth and catching, number 5, Justin Felix. his baseball buddies Oliver. Batting up, the second baseman, number 1, Alay Camus. His baseball buddies Chandler and Bennett. Pitching for the Evansville Otters, left-handed pitcher, number 8, Braden Scott. His baseball buddy is Palmer. The Poop Troop, joining the Evansville Otters here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you please rise and wave your caps as we honor America's freedom, those who are now protected, and pay tribute to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice with the singing of our national anthem, this evening performed by Layla Frey.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed, and the twilight's last gleam, whose white stripes and bright stars through the perilous night. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in there, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Tonight's team ball is delivered to you by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza.
National anthem just concluding here at Bosse Field, just about set for game 1 of this 4-game series between Evansville and the first place Washington Wild Things. Just to reset you, Washington first place at 19-13, Evansville in 4th place in the Central Division, 4.5 games back of Washington, 14-17. Both clubs are 6-4 in their last 10, so we'll see who prevails here tonight. On the mound is Braden Scott for the Evansville Otters. We'll see how he performs. He's come off a pair of really good performances.
Yeah, and it's going to be really interesting to see how long they want to go with him. He's gone over 100 pitches in each of his starts outside of his first one. He averages over 100 pitches, and on the other end, you've got a guy who, in his first start of the season, at least for Washington, went 97. He's gone as high as 115. So both these guys can give a lot of length to these teams, especially with so many games upcoming. You have 4 before you travel back, and then you have 3 more on the weekend. So you really need to be able to get ready and hopefully get a lot out of your starters. And Braden Scott has proven he can give you a lot of well-pitched and very efficient innings.
He'll face the top 3 in Cale Chatham, Ethan Wilder, Tommy Caulfield. 3 left-handed batters in this Washington order for their manager, and against this left-handed starter in Scott. We'll see how that fares. Evansville on their side with 3 left-handers as well against Kobe Foster. Began today with a very soggy outfield here at Bosse Field, but the sun has come out, and we have gotten the field ready to play, and we are ready for baseball.
Bosse Field, Evansville, Indiana, God's country, leading off for the Washington Wild Things. Our Hoosier Lottery strikeout batter of the game in right field, 32, Cale Chatham.
Here comes Cale Chatham, left-handed hitter, stands in. 238 the average coming into today, 667 the OPS, 4 doubles, 7 ribbies. He's playing in right field tonight. Scott looks in, the left-hander on the far third base side of the rubber. Begins the wind at tonight's first pitch. In there for a strike, 0-1. Our game time temp of 84 degrees. Wind slightly blowing out to center, but nothing crazy. Partly cloudy here, the 0-1. In there for a strike. Scott quickly ahead, 0-2. Humid and muggy as you would expect this time of year in this part of the country. The 0-2. Swung on, hit on the ground to third. Fielded by Pierce. Throw over to first in time for out number 1. So Dennis Pierce, his first start this year at third, gets some quick action.
So how about that? You get in a new spot and they attack you early, and Pierce up to the challenge. A nice play there, and then a great throw on that long throw from third to first.
Now Ethan Wilder, the leader on this team in batting average at .340. The pitch. Swung right through the fastball, 0-1. Also with 23 walks is Wilder. 7 doubles. The 0-1 pitch. Misses on the inner half, 1-1.
Just to reiterate the importance of Scott going long, Otters releasing Jack Washburn after the games on Sunday. Griff Hughes gets signed by the Toronto Blue Jays, so they lose 2 pitchers out of that bullpen.
1-1, fouled back, 1-2.
They do bring in a pitcher from Tri-City, Ross Thompson, with a 1.32 ERA to start the year. So they do get one back, but they're playing short right now in a bullpen. And again, you've got 7 games in the next 6 days.
The 1-2 pitch. Bender hit on the ground up the middle, and that's going to sneak through for a base hit. Top shelf curve, just Wilder able to roll it over up the middle. One thing about these 7 games in 6 days, also a 5-hour bus trip after the doubleheader on Thursday up to Joliet, so that also takes a little bit out of you. Tommy Caulfield now stands in. He is the second left-handed hitter in this lineup. Small lead over at first by Wilder. For the first time out of the stretch, Scott with the pitch. Inside, but bended in there for a strike. 0-1. Really nice curve there. Scott, really good start to his game against Lake Erie. Struck out the side in the first inning. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on, fouled back into the net. It's 0-2. Did have a couple of walks there towards the middle, but got out of trouble. That's what this veteran guy does. He knows how to work through those tough innings. He ultimately finished with 8 strikeouts against Lake Erie, a season high for him. The 0-2. Just missed outside. Try to get him chasing on the slider. It's 1-2 now. In the outfield, Jones in left, Graham Brown in center, JT Benson in right as Scott sets and pitches. Swung on and missed, strike 3. First German-American Bank strikeout for Braden Scott here this evening. On the infield for him defensively, already talked about him over at third, Dennis Pierce. Then at short, Paven Parks. Second base, Alay Camus. First base, Logan Brown. Behind the dish is Justin Felix. You will not see any other catcher behind the dish for Braden Scott this year. Tyreek Reed now stands in on the right side. Big, powerful right-handed bat in the cleanup spot. The first pitch he sees is in there for a strike on the down and in corner, 0-1. Reed, 6 homers, 28 RBI. Has walked 23 times and OPS at .894. Scott quickly ahead, 0-1. The pitch is made over to first. Back with a dive as Wilder, but no play.
That's something that Scott does so well, is holding that runner at first. Pretty much every time Wilder is on that first move from Scott, he's on his way back before he takes the secondary.
The 0-1. Swung on, shot the opposite way, an overhead. That overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. 0-2 the count now.
Choose the best, never regret it.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first, top 1, no score. Just getting started here in Evansville. The pitch, runner goes. Swung on, fouled off again. Will do it again at 0-2. Interesting that Wilder took off there on the 0-2 pitch. See if he goes again. He had a very small lead over at first. It's modest. The 0-2 once more. Runner goes. Cold strike, 3, doesn't even matter. So the inning ends on a strikeout looking second German American Bank strikeout for Braden Scott. No score here on the Otters Digital Network on 96.9 WYIR.
Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org. For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville-Vanderburgh Public Library.
Tell them, same from the Otters.
Time for the bottom half of the first here in Evansville. No score as of yet. Kobe Foster, the left-hander, on the mound for Washington. In his one start this year, he went 6 innings, struck out 6, only giving up 1 run to Bryn Spillane against Schaumburg, but historically really good against the Otts.
Yeah, in his last outing against the Otters, 8 innings, had 10 strikeouts, only gave up 1 earned run. Again, he's a guy that can shut you down, but the Otters have seen him a lot, and we'll see if they can try to get to him here.
The left-hander will face Dennis Pierce to lead it off.
Number 10, Dennis Pierce.
Dennis Pierce, the Edward Jones leadoff batter of the game. See how he does. Made a really good first impression when he was signed on the road trip. The first pitch he sees is swung on and missed on the high fastball. 0-1. Pierce, a homer, a double, a triple. 0-1 pitch. Up and away for a ball, 1-1. One pitch. Way out in front of the breaker, it's 1-2. Pierce hitless in the finale against Windy City, but did walk and reach on a fielder's choice. The 1-2. Up and away, 2-2. Foster begins the wind. Kicks and fires. Swung on, high fly ball, pretty well struck left center field. Back on it, Lagrange at the track, at the wall. See ya! Dennis Pierce with a leadoff homer in the bottom of the first. 1-0 Otters.
Dennis Pierce.
Second of the year, first in front of this home crowd.
You stress the importance of getting out in front early on this guy, and now for Foster this year, he's given up 2 home runs, the only damage to him so far, and an early one here.
First pitch now to Graham Brown is swung on and fouled into the netting, 0-1. Dennis Pierce, welcome to Bossy Field. The pitch, swung on, hit on the ground, up the middle, fielded by Infante, throw to first in time for the first out. Now JT Benson stands in. Benson has been in a bit of a rut lately. The average has fallen, went 0 for 3 in the finale against Windy City. In the first game of that doubleheader, also went hitless, but did reach via the walk and the hit by pitch. The average has dropped to 303 as the first pitch into him is outside 1-0. At one point this season, it was up in the 350s.
Yeah, and his OBP is still above 400. He's doing a great job. Had that home run in the game against Windy City. And speaking of that home run,
1-0. Swung on, popped high and out of play. 1-1.
They jumped out ahead 1-0 early in that game off that solo shot, and they couldn't really do anything the rest of the game. You want to keep trying to put with your foot on the pedal here and try to keep pushing this lead and make this pitcher work as much as you can.
The 1-1 now. Swung on, fouled back again. That one overhead. Overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best. Never regret it. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. Swung on, stung the opposite way, but it gets into the seats. So count stays at 1-2. Benson, as good as the bat has been this year, equally as good in the outfield. Foster steps back, kicks in the 1-2. Bender near the shoe tops, 2-2. Shadows beginning past the mound here tonight, about halfway outstretched across the infield. 2-2 pitch. Swung on high, pop-up shallow left field. Back on it, Wilder, the shortstop. Under it, still backpedaling and makes the catch as he falls down. So what could have been trouble, but saved by Wilder. There's 2 away now here in this bottom of the first.
And it really felt like off the bat, Wilder was struggling to pick it up and couldn't see the carry on it. It felt like it could have caused trouble, and it almost did, but still brought it in and avoided catastrophe on that one.
Now here's left-handed hitting Pavin Parks. The bat has started to heat up. 2 homers recently. Those his only 2 homers of the year. 10 RBI. Lefty v. lefty, the matchup, and the pitch is taken outside for a ball, 1-0. Evansville in their blue jerseys, home pants. 1-0. Swung on, popped foul, 1-1.
And what I've really liked over this last stretch of games is that Pavin's been taking a lot of really, really good at-bats, and you've seen it by his OBP going up above 350. He's drawing plenty of walks, and he's hitting the ball hard, but a lot of times it's going directly to the fielders, so it's really just about staying with this approach and letting it come to you and let the luck fall your way eventually.
Pavin takes a strike there, 1-2. Foster trying to get out of the inning with only 1 run allotted, the 1-2. Swung on and missed for the strikeout. So Foster collects his first strikeout and ends the inning. But first, a leadoff homer by Dennis Pierce. 1-0 Evansville going to the top of the second. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network at 96.9 WYIR.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND CASA.com. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
Back here at Bosse Field, top of the second, 1-0 Evansville after a Dennis Pierce leadoff homer in the bottom of the first, and they have a lead for their ace, Braden Scott, on the bump here in the second inning. 2 strikeouts in the first, stranding a runner on first base.
Saying hello on this $2 Tuesday to the Matrix.
See how he does here against this Washington team, which has been good this season. Now, the Central Division is a close one compared to some of the other divisions in this league. Certainly the closest from top to bottom by a large margin. But also Washington, the only division leader without 20 wins yet this season, which is a good thing for Evansville, who's just 4.5 games back. In every other division, the person in 4th or 5th place is at least 11.5 games back, so Evansville finds themselves in a good spot. Here's the first pitch to Andrew Check, up and away for a ball, 1-0. Check has been a workhorse this year in the middle of this lineup, as he has his entire career with Washington, as the 1-0 pitch is on the outer edge for a strike, 1-1. This is his 5th season with Washington as the franchise leader in homers for the Wild Things. 1-1 pitch. Swung on, hit high in the air, tailing down the left side and drifting foul and out of play, 1-2. 34 RBI this season, leading this team in that statistic. He is second in the Frontier League, only behind Anthony Calarco with Schaumburg, who has 40. The 1-2 on the lefty-lefty matchup. Swung on and missed, strike 3. High fastball. He was behind it. Third German-American Bank strikeout for Braden Scott.
Yeah, Check hits the ball hard a lot, hits a lot of home runs, has 9 on the year, but also that's his 37th strikeout, so a guy who's liable to do that as well. And it's a good sign there for Scott, being able to work that count and get that strikeout to start off this inning the right way.
First pitch into Lagrange is up and away for a ball, 1-0. Lagrange, the left fielder, he's had a good season with Washington as the right-handed hitter awaits the 1-0 pitch. Inside, 2-0. 328 average, 813 OPS, 3 homers, 17 ribbies, 5 doubles. The 2-0. Swung on and missed. Oh, boy, was that an ugly one. 2-1. Made him look foolish on the slider. Two 1 pitch. In there at the knees, 2-2. Scott doing a good job of attacking the zone early. The fastball sitting in the high 80s for the most part here today. At least so far, the 2-2. Swung on, smacked in the air, and out of play, foul to the right side. Count stays at 2-2.
She's the best. Never regret it.
Count even, top 2, 1-0 Evansville, the pitch. Swung on, line drive into left field, sinking in front of Jones for a hit. Second hit for Washington, second one-out hit in as many innings. So Braden Scott will once again work with a runner on base.
Robert Shaker.
Now Robert Chaka. Cheka in center field here tonight. First pitch he sees is inside, and that hit him. Down and in fastball got away from Scott, so now 2 runners on base and a runner in scoring position for Washington.
Batting eighth at second base.
Yeah, this is a spot where you need to be able to lock in and try to maintain this lead. We've seen the Otters, when they go out ahead, are liable to give up the lead almost immediately right away, and this is a situation where you really don't want to see that happen, especially with the other pitcher on the mound in Foster, who can lock in and start shutting you down for multiple innings.
Here's Sammy Infante. Infante works with a runner in scoring position at second as well as runner on first. The pitch. Bender just misses inside. Real good spot, though, from Scott. It's 1-0. Infield straight up. Same with the outfield. 1-0 the count, 1-0 Evansville, top 2. Scott with a pitch. That one misses low. It's 2-0. Scott trying to work through some troubles here in this top of the second. He's done it in the past. The left-hander looks into Justin Felix behind the plate. Agrees. And the 2-0. Misses inside. 3 balls, no strikes. Remember, fans, the battery of Justin Felix and Braden Scott is sponsored by the Answer Auto Repair East. The Answer Auto Repair East, you can find all your battery needs there, located at 2319 North Greenville Road, or call at 812-475-9000. 3-0 now to Infante. He takes all the way, didn't even move in the batter's box, but it's a strike, 3-1.
About as stiff as you can get there in the box.
So now 3-1 the count. It's going to have to be perfect for Infante to swing at it. The pitch. Runners go. Swung on. Bounced to third. Diving and off the tip of the glove of Pierce. Ricochets into left field. That's going to score 1. Pavin Parks cutting it off in shallow left center. And it's 1-1 now.
Catching 23, Willie Estrada.
The hit and run pretty much perfect at place there. If wasn't for that, Pierce is almost certainly bringing that in, and a really strong chance for 2, but instead a run scores, runner on the corner, still only 1 away, and a chance now for Washington to grab the lead.
So once again, Evansville taking a lead early in the game, but not able to hold it. So the game goes on. 1-1, top 2. 1 away, infield double play depth. The pitch to Willie Estrada. Inside, 1-0. Washington, not typically a team that steals a whole bunch. They are dead last in the Frontier League in stolen bases, but they've already attempted a couple of times here today, and that hit and run just now paid off to perfection. 1-0 pitch is made over to first. Back with a dive is Infante, as there was no play. Scott working through some early trouble. The 1-0. Never mind. Another pickoff throw, and that time they got him. Sammy Infante picked off over at first base on a phenomenal move by Braden Scott.
He's just so well trained at being able to keep his body perfect in the ability to, so he gets to the point where he's basically at his peak in his motion. He can still throw over to first if he wants, or he can come home. He really does a good job at holding those runners on at first, but in it also, if he wants to try to make that move at first, he can do a good job fooling the runner as well.
Next pitch into Estrada in there for a strike, 1-1. So now, boy, this inning looks a whole lot better with 2 away and just a runner on third. Still tied at 1 apiece, top 2. 1-1 pitch. Inside, 2-1. So Scott seems to When he's missing with the fastball, he's missing inside to righties, outside to lefties. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on high, chopper in to short. Charging is Pavin. Throw to first in time for the out. So that ends the inning, but Washington does strike. They tie it at 1 apiece. You're listening on the Otter Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and More can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org.
Bottom of the second, it's tied at 1 apiece here at Bosse Field. Kobe Foster back on the mound. Evansville will send L.J. Jones, Keenan Taylor, Logan Brown to the plate to face the left-handed pitcher. We'll see how it goes. Washington able to score in the top half of this inning to tie it up at 1 apiece after the Dennis Pierce leadoff homer in the first inning. Wild Things, obviously first place here in this Central Division. Second and last time they make the trip down here to Evansville. The Otters will still be making a couple of trips up to Washington. The first trip up to Washington is in the beginning part of July. That will be a 3-game set as Kobe Foster looks in to Estrada in the first pitch to L.J. Jones. It's up and away, but a strike. It's 0-1. A 1 pitch now to Jones. Low, 1-1. LJ at one point had a 17-game on-base streak going, 12-game hitting streak. 1-1. Swung on high, pop-up shallow center field. Charging in is Cheka. He's under it, medium deep, makes the catch. Quickly one away here in the second inning, and here's Keenan Taylor.
Number 12, Keenan Taylor.
Keenan Taylor's been impressive. Leads the team in homers with 6. Taylor bats from the right side. Foster shakes once, now agrees and begins the motion. Here it is. Low, 1-0. Foster once again to the windup in the pitch. Swung on and missed. A little out front that time, 1-1. 1-1 also the score here, bottom 2. All knotted up. Here it is. Swung on liner fairly deep out to center. Back on it, Cheka, nearing the track, nearing the wall. It is off the top of the wall. Taylor hustling into second base. He's going to get there standing. A 1-out Deerhead double-decker double.
Keenan Taylor just continues to hit the ball hard. A .626 slugging percentage coming into this game, leading the team, and shows why another hard hit. That was deepest part of the field. Anywhere else, that's gone. But that one was top of dead center. And now a runner on second and a chance to do some damage for what also is a candidate for the hottest hitter in an Honors uniform right now.
Logan Brown, he's been special the past couple of days. A couple of game-winning hits for him in the doubleheader against Windy City. The first pitch he sees is high, 1-0. He's proven that he is a really hard bat to take out of the lineup. Had his first homer of the year in the bottom of the sixth against Windy City that eventually got them the win in that 7-inning contest. 1-0. 2-0 now as that one left high.
I'll also say that Keenan Taylor's .626 slugging, fourth in the Frontier League. So he's not just probably the best hitter in the Otters lineup, one of the best hitters in the league so far this year.
2-0 the count. Foster looks back towards Taylor at second. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Tied him up inside on the breaker. It's 2-1. On deck, Justin Felix. After him would be Alay Camus. Brown, left-handed hitter, no batting gloves, no batting grip, no pine tar. Two and one. Swung on, line drive into right. That's going to get down for a base hit. They're going to hold Keenan Taylor at third. So now runners on the corners with one away for Justin Felix. Logan Brown maybe getting jammed on that one a little bit, just 71 miles per hour off the bat. But a hit is a hit. And he continues to stay hot. Here's Justin Felix. Felix offensively has struggled this year, but just a great veteran presence in the locker room and behind the dish. Right-hander with a chance to give the Otters back the lead. First pitch he sees. Squares around, places it down. Here comes the runner and Taylor. The throw to the plate is in time. So they tried for a squeeze play. Didn't quite work out. It's going to be a fielder's choice as Keenan Taylor's cut down coming to the plate.
Number one, Alay Camus.
Here comes Alay Camus. Runners on first and second. Two away. Camus, the 9-hole hitter, top of the order, due up next. Foster, the left-handed thrower, sets and out of the stretch the pitch. Checked his swing, did Camus, but didn't go. It was down and away for a ball. 1-0. A ball, no strikes, 2 outs. Camus, left-handed hitter. At second base tonight, usually plays short, but either up the middle position is perfect for him, the 1-0. Swung on, high pop-up, but foul and out of play overhead. That overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best and never regret it. 1-1 the count now. Evansville trying to take another early lead. Foster looks in, agrees, and sets. Middle part of the rubber this time for him. The pitch. Outside, 2-1. No one holding at first for Felix. At second is Logan Brown. The 2-1. Swung on, bounced softly to second, fielded by Infante. Throw to first in time for the out. So we go now to the third, 1-1 the score here on the Otters Digital Network at 96.9 WYIR.
For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville Vanderburgh Public Library. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND CASA.com.
Thanks, Josh.
Top of the third, 1-1 the score. Evansville not able to get one across in their half of the second, despite getting 2 runners on, but it will be the top of the lineup here against Braden Scott. We'll see how they fare the second time around.
Yeah, Scott, like I said, he's gone long plenty of times. Really, for him, it's been that one bad inning, and that kind of looked like where he was going with that last inning, but was able to get out of it with only giving up 1 run. So hopefully he can settle back in and go the distance here, or at least go, at least 6, if not longer, for the Otters, and keep them in it, and hopefully just keep matching what's going on the other side.
Here's Cale Chatham. Chatham grounded out to third to begin this ball game. First pitch to him is in there for a strike on the outer half, 0-1. We've seen Scott at times get up to 90, 91 on the fastball. We've not seen that tonight, the 0-1. Bender, really nice pitch for a strike, 0-2. Quickly ahead of Cale Chatham is the left-hander in Scott. He begins his wind, kicks and fires. Called strike, 3 on the up and away corner. Fourth German-American Bank strikeout for Braden Scott.
Sections E and F. Play ball with the Hoosier Lottery, and please play responsibly. Shortstop 5, Ethan Wilder.
Now Ethan Wilder, who singled in the first but was stranded there. First pitch that he sees is in there, 0-1. Scott really having a feel for that breaking stuff right now. He's ahead in the count. No balls, 1 strike. Here it is. Missed inside. It's 1-1. Top 3 here at Posse Field. 1-1 the score. Both teams with 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on, hit in the air, but slicing foul and out of play. Overhead. That overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best and never regret it. 1-2 the count. The next one. Up and away, 2-2. So maybe the fastball not on point tonight, but Scott has been effective with the spinning stuff. The 2-2. Swung on, chopped softly to short, charging his Pavin Fields. Throws in time easily for out number 2.
Yeah, and he obviously noticed Wilder was not running as hard as he could down the line, so he just took his time, made sure he made an accurate throw, and didn't mention it in that last inning, but on that last play by Pavin, it was a really tough bounce that he read. He's played a really good shortstop since he's been here as an Otter, and he continues that so far in this game and in the short amount of outings he has played shortstop for them this year.
Now, Tommy Caulfield, lefty v lefty, the matchup, the pitch. Up and in, trying to back him off, I presume. It's 1-0. So the 1-0 pitch from the left-hander and Scott. That one's taken for a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Decent crowd here on this $2 Tuesday. The pitch, low, 2-1. Hopefully here to see an Otters win. Tied here in the top of the third, 1-1. 2-1 the count. Make that 2-2 as the fastball finds the bottom of the zone. Infield straight up, same with the outfield, 2 away here in the top of the third. Deuces are wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And the pitch. Swung on, a slicing line drive into left. Charging in is L.J. Jones, who makes the catch for out number 3. So that ends the top of the third. We go to the bottom half, 1-1 here on the Otters Digital Network at 96.9 WYIR.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and More can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800.
Welcome back into Bosse Field here in Evansville, Indiana. Also, happy birthday to Bosse Field here in Evansville, Indiana. June 17th, 1915 was the first ever game played here at Bosse Field. And over 100 years later, we are still playing baseball at this baseball cathedral.
I think it's just a fantastic piece of history. I mean, third oldest active ballpark in America right now, and the other 2 are in the MLB. So it's one of those really pieces of American history that I think it's so much of a privilege to be able to broadcast at this ballpark. And even though it's sometimes, especially whenever it rains, it can get a little bit frustrating trying to clean up the field. But yeah, I think that's it kind of comes with the specialty of what this ballpark means.
I think you hit it right on the head there, not only part of baseball history, but part of American history, as the first pitch into Dennis Pierce is swung on and missed, 0-1. Baseball so intertwined with American history since the beginning. In the American Revolution, the late 1700s, stick and ball game has always been played on this continent, when European settlers at least came over. The 0-1 pitch in there for a strike, 0-2. The nation's pastime is what it has been known as and will always be known as here in America. The 0-2 here to Dennis Pierce is inside 1-2. Now, cricket obviously being played in Britain. Cricket a part of what inspired the sport of baseball, as the 1-2 pitch swung on and missed for strike 3 for the first out. That is the second strikeout for Kobe Foster. The other game that helped inspire baseball that was played here in the colonial times in America was Rounders, another British stick and ball game. The kids combined those 2 sports to create the one we know and love, as Graham Brown stands in the pitch. In there for a strike, 0-1. The only reason I know that is because I watched Ken Burns baseball, a lot. 0-1 pitch. Swung on, line drive, base hit into left field. Graham Brown with his first hit of the night. Here in this bottom of the third.
Good to see the Otters keep still attacking here. They've managed to hit in each of the innings so far. If they can keep doing that, and keep threatening like they did last inning, eventually they'll be able to break through. We've seen this team be able to come up with some really big hits in this ballpark before, and just got to keep putting runners on the bases so that way your batters can knock them in.
Now J.T. Benson, the first pitch he sees from Foster, is up and away for a ball, 1-0. Benson popped out to short in the first inning. Brown, small lead over at first, nothing crazy. Foster gives him a look. Now the 1-0 is up and away again. That one 2-0. Evansville has had a hit now in each of the first 3 innings. 4 hits total. The pitch. 3-0 now as that one left low.
Graham Brown over at first was, after that first move from Foster, he was all the way back to first base once Foster released the pitch. He's playing it very safe over there.
Here it is, swung on, grounded up the middle, and it gets past the backhanded glove of Infante. Hustling to third is Graham Brown. Runners on the corners now for Evansville. The throw gets away to the middle of the infield, but Foster right there.
Man, with that shift, they were, and he was in the perfect spot for it, and he just didn't bring it in. He tried to make the play before he had the ball, and a huge break there for the Otters. Now you have runners on the corners with only 1 away, and Pavin Parks is up, and hopefully his bat can do some damage here.
So runners now at the corners with just 1 away.
Scorekeeper is still discussing whether that's a hit or an error.
Yes, they are. First pitch to Pavin. Swung on, fouled back, 0-1. So they are going to call that a hit for J.T. Benson. Oh and 1 the count to Pavin Parks. 1 away, runners on the corners. Infield double play depth. Third baseman playing a little in. The pitch. Up and in, had him leaning back, 1-1. Boy, Evansville would really like to cash in here given the circumstances that led to the second inning concluding. A ball, a strike, and out. Runners on the corners, bottom 3. Pickoff throw to first, not in time. 1-1 the score. Evansville already 5 hits against Kobe Foster tonight. The pitch. High, 2-1. So Pavin working ahead in the count. Steps in on the left-handed side. The 2-1 pitch. Over to first. Once again, not in time. That the second disengagement for Foster here, so only 1 remaining. And if he doesn't get him, it would be a balk. So we'll see how aggressive Benson gets over there at first. The pitch. Swung on, fouled back into the netting. It's 2-2.
And already 45 pitches here for Foster. And he's not even through the third inning yet. That is some great work here from the Otters hitters so far.
Here's the 2-2 after a deep breath from Foster. Swung on, lifted in the air to right. medium deep. Chatham under it, makes the catch. Here comes the runner in brown, heading home. The throw, not in time. 2-1 Evansville. Sack fly for Paven Parks puts Evansville on top. Now 2-1 here in the bottom of the third.
20, L.J. Jones.
L.J. Jones now batting.
And another great at bat there from Paven. On that 2-2 pitch, he was able to wait on that 68 breaker and just wait on it and lift it into the air enough for Graham Brown to score. And the speed of Brown played huge there as he barely beat that throw to the plate.
L.J. Jones, right-handed hitter, stands in. Hands high, the pitch. Runner goes. Swung on and missed. Throw down is not going to be in time. So J.T. Benson with his 9th stolen base of the year. That was an epic stolen base provided by Epic Insurance Midwest.
And I love that move because even if he's thrown out or picked off, then you lead off the next inning with L.J. Jones, which is never a bad thing.
0-1 the count to Jones now with a runner in scoring position. Fouled back to the backstop. It's 0-2. Infield with a slight pull shift on Jones. Outfield is straight up. Hands chest high, the pitch. Outside, 1-2. Evansville 2, Washington 1. Here in the bottom of the third, 2 outs. Foster looks into Estrada and sets. Hands belt high. The 1-2. Swung on, softly hit, line drive. That's going to get down into left field for a hit. Here comes Benson. He's going to score. An RBI single for L.J. Jones. 3-1 Otters. That one just 66 miles per hour off the bat on a 68 mile per hour breaker.
And that's how you just go at bat by at bat. You don't need to put the ball into the stands and every at bat just find the outfield grass. The last couple of at bats we saw from Paven and now we see from L.J. Jones there, just getting enough contact on it to help out the team and get the runners in that were in scoring position.
A quick toss over to first as L.J. was putting on his slide protector on his right hand. Quickly, L.J. was back as the first pitch to Taylor. In there for a strike, 0-1. Last 2 Otters to bat have had RBI. The last 4 have been productive. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on, grounded foul, third base side. It's 0-2.
The varying of speeds here from Foster is very impressive. Up at 91, he can get you around 85, 86. Then has a little bit slower at 78, 79, and then it can get all the way down to 69 on that breaker. It can be tough to pick up these pitches if you're an Otters hitter, but they've done a great job so far.
The 0-2. Swung on, hard line drive down the left field line. That's going to get down in fair territory and roll all the way to the corner. Jones hustling for third. Throw not in time. Another Deerhead double-decker double for Keenan Taylor.
He just keeps hitting, finding ways to put the ball in the right place and hit the ball hard. Does it again right there.
And here comes the pitching coach for Washington, as he's going to have a conversation with Foster, who has given up already 7 hits through 2 2/3, 3 runs. 2 in this inning. Now Logan Brown batting. He has been one of the hottest hitters on the planet. See how he does.
And once again, the Otters are showing that they can hit off of anybody. Cade, Foster, Kobe Foster, frankly, one of the best pitchers in the Frontier League. He's been one of the best pitchers in the Frontier League for years. Obviously, he's just come back this year, but the way that they're going about these at-bats, they're not giving up. They're working them. That was a two-strike double there from Keenan Taylor. It was a two-strike hit from L.J. Jones. It was a two-strike fly ball from Paven Parks that scored Graham Brown. So a lot of great at-bats, a lot of working here, and it's played out in their favor.
Logan Brown now stands in. He has a single today. First pitch he sees is outside. It's 1-0. No one up in the Washington bullpen, so full faith in Kobe Foster to get out of this one. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on, bounced softly down the first base line and foul. It's 1-1. Runner at second base is Keenan Taylor. At third is L.J. Jones. Foster getting a new baseball. Shadows now have completely covered the infield. Slight stretches of sunlight down the third base side of the infield, but just one long stretch of it. The 1-1. Swung on and missed. 1-2. Out in front was Logan Brown. The only sunlight really is peaking fully in deep center field and parts of right center. Logan Brown down in the count, 1-2. Foster looking to get out of the inning. And the pitch. Missed outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on.
And this is the spot where Foster's been all inning. You got 2 strikes on the Otters hitter, but just hasn't been able to find a way to get them out. And he's really got to get it here if he wants to get out of this inning with as minimal damage as possible.
The pitch. Swung on, fought off the opposite way, and out of play. Count stays at 2-2.
Choose the best, never regret it.
Infield straight up, same with the outfield. 2 runners in scoring position for Logan Brown. Here it is. Swung on, slow bouncer to first. Check handles it and will step on the bag himself for the 3rd out. But the Otters score twice on 4 hits and a sac fly. We now go to the 4th, 3-1 Otters here on 96.9 WYR and the Otters Digital Network.
Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org. For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville-Vanderburgh Public Library. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND CASA.com.
Welcome back into historic Bossy Field as Braden Scott now out there with a 2-run lead as the Otters lead 3-1 as we head to the fourth inning. It was 2 runs on some timely hitting from the Otters last inning, and now Scott tries to hold this lead, and he's looked so good, looked really good so far in this one.
Already 4 strikeouts for him, and obviously worked through some traffic in that second inning, but got through it like the veteran he is, and now hopefully we'll see him continue his good outing as now once again he has the lead. This time a 2-run lead for him. So we'll see how that works out.
So far through 3, it's 1 run on 3 hits and 4 strikeouts, and he hasn't walked anybody. He did hit a batter, and he did get behind a couple of those batters in that second inning, but he has not walked anybody yet. And the first one to meet him in this fourth inning will be the cleanup hitter Tyreek Reed. Reed struck out in his first at-bat as the big right-handed batter steps into the box. Scott will look into Felix and will deliver the first pitch of this fourth inning. That one is taken for a ball. Guess just a bit high. Looks like home plate umpire Robert Moreno is getting up to about call a strike, but he didn't. Either way, count at 1-0. Now Scott with the windup will deliver. That pitch just runs inside, and he's behind Reed 2-0 on a couple pitches that are all just around the plate.
Yeah, they were close. That one missing by just about half of an inch, maybe.
Now Scott behind 2-0. Delivers that pitch. That one is low, and now he's behind Reed 3-0. Reed coming in with a .417 on-base percentage, has drawn 23 walks. And takes that pitch for a strike as Scott gets back into the count, 3-1. And he's only struck out 19 times. An incredible eye for the guy at the plate right now. He also has hit 6 home runs. Now the 3-1 pitch is runs inside for ball 4. So after saying all that, he walks the first batter of this fourth inning, and that will lead to the left-handed hitting Andrew Check.
And he's done this before. He struggles to command at one point this season. I mean, you look, he's had 4 walks in a game twice. He's had 5 walks in a game once against this Washington team. But we'll see. Usually he's able to, curb that and make good pitches otherwise.
So the first pitch into Check is taken for a strike. It's ahead of him 0-1. Check was also a victim of the strikeout back in the second inning. It was a walk-off grand slam for Andrew Check in the final game against Joliet. And now he awaits the 0-1 pitch with a runner on first as Washington trails Evansville 3-1 in this fourth inning. Takes that pitch just outside. Count evens up at 1. The strikeout was his 37th strikeout of the year. Now Scott from the stretch delivers the 1-1 pitch. That checked swing, it's right back to the mound. Scott will take it in and take the easy play at first. Runner will advance to second, and that will get the first out of the inning. Sounded like a broken bat there, and there goes some more lumber. You can get your new lumber at Niehaus Lumber.
Left fielder 6, Wagner Lagrange.
So big out number 1 there for Scott. A runner on second with 1 away brings in Wagner Lagrange. The first pitch is taken for a strike, and he starts ahead of him 0-1. Lagrange singled on a 2-2 pitch earlier in the game. He would eventually come around to score the lone run for Washington. And now he awaits the 0-1 pitch in from Scott. That one runs high, and the count evens up at 1. You mentioned Scott's done really well working through traffic so far this year, and he's got to do some more of the same here in this top of the fourth inning. Now will deliver the 1-1 pitch. Is it high pop up into left field? LJ Jones will run back on it and will bring it in a couple steps in front of the warning track for out number 2. Graham Brown was charging at it hard as well. I don't know if he wasn't sure where LJ Jones was at, but did stop before him.
You like to see that from your center fielder, trying to take charge at something like that, especially with a guy in left field, LJ Jones. He's played a lot of first base this year, but Graham Brown doing the right thing once LJ calling for it, stepping off, and making him make the catch.
Next is Robert Chayka. So he waits the first pitch in from the southpaw Scott. But first a check over at Reed as he's getting a huge lead off of second base. Chayka was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. It's the first time the Otters are seeing him this year as he was injured during the first meeting. Takes the first pitch inside, almost hit him again. But he's up 1-0 on Scott. Scott looks into Felix and comes set as he delivers the 1-0 pitch into Chayka. That one finds a zone. Count evens up at 1. Chayka playing his 20th game of the season for the Wild Things, entering with a .453 on-base percentage. 20 walks to 11 strikeouts. That one is a looper into left center field. That one's going to get down just over the glove of Parks. He's going to hold it in front of him, but he took his time bringing it in, and Reed is going to score from second.
Second baseman, 18, Sammy Infante.
So a bloop base hit brings the Wild Things within 1, and with 2 away, still in this inning, it's Sammy Infante as he steps into the right-handed batter's box.
The Otters got a couple of those. It only seems right that Washington respond with one of their own, but it hurts that it also brings in a run with it.
Now the first pitch into Infante is taken high, and he starts behind him 1-0.
It also just has a feeling of one of those games where it's just going to go back and forth, back and forth. Evansville hopefully is going to be the one that comes out on top of this marathon.
Next pitch finds his own. Count evens up at 1. Infante singled in the run earlier on the hit and run. Now he awaits the 1-1 pitch in from Scott. That one is a chopper towards third. Pierce is in on it. He will throw it to second in time for out number 3. The Wild Things get 1, but they still trail by 1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and More can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800.
It's 8-9-1 for the Otters here in the bottom of the 4th inning as they lead 3-2 over Washington in this first game of 4 against the Central Division and leading Wild Things. It was 2 runs in the bottom of the 3rd that gave them the lead. Washington bounced back with a run of their own, and now the Otters try to get that run back and maybe some more against Kobe Foster, who we mentioned has been so good against the Otters so far in his career, but tonight seven hits has led to 3 runs, and he's only struck out 2 After each of the last 2 appearances against the Otters, he had struck out 10.
Yeah, it's definitely a good sign, with all these new faces in the Otters order that they're able to get to a guy like Foster who has been so good this year. Hopefully it continues here as we go and get into the middle innings and maybe even get this guy out early to kind of hurt that bullpen a little bit since we do have 4 games in just 3 days in this series.
It's Justin Felix to meet him first. He tried to bunt in a runner in his first at-bat. It did not work out. He'll take the first pitch for a strike on the outside part of the plate. Starts behind 0-1. That pitch down at 65 miles per hour. Now the 0-1 pitch into the Otters catcher. Chopper towards third. That's going to be bobbled by the third baseman Caulfield. Throw to first is not in time as Felix beats it out. Great effort from Felix there to run out that grounder. That bobble from Caulfield is just enough for Justin Felix to beat it out.
Yeah, and that one took a really bad skip on him there. Hit him up and at the chest. Justin, as always, hustling down the line. He was hustling down to get to first base and was able to beat it.
One of those bang-bang plays that could have gone either way. That one goes down as an error on the third baseman Caulfield. First pitch to Camus. He squares around a bunt, fouls that one off. Starts behind 0-1. Camus down at the 9 hole is coming in with a .226 batting average. Feels like he's been hitting the ball hard a ton, but just hasn't been finding the holes, similar to what we've been saying about Pavin. I'll tell you what, Camus loves to swing the bat. We'll see if they want to lay down another bunt. The third baseman Caulfield in on the infield grass. He does square around, and he's going to lead it back to the pitcher. He's going to fake going to second and then end up going to first. And the runner, Felix, does advance. With 1 away, it'll be Dennis Pierce to try to get that runner in from second.
It's a smart play there by Foster coming off the mound, not going to second base. For a second, I thought he was, and Justin wholeheartedly, I believe, would have been safe if he was to go to second base. So, a smart play by him just to take the free out that they were giving you, not be the hero.
That's the Edward Jones leadoff hitter of the game. He takes the first pitch for a ball, and he starts ahead 1-0. This guy does not like hitting singles, huh?
No.
4 hits this season, all of them extra bases. 2 home runs, a double, and a triple. Now the 1-0 pitch into the Otters' leadoff hitter. That one's laced up the middle. Chayka on it, way in on it. He's going to let it drop in front of him. And just as I say that, Pierce with a single. He is halfway to second with no one holding on first, just waiting to see. And Felix had to wait to make sure that ball dropped. It did drop in front of Chayka. Now there are runners on the corners with 1 away for Graham Brown.
Yeah, that was a weird liner. Just kept on carrying in the air out into right center. Chayka, you could see, was a little hesitant to whether want to make the diving play, not. Decided to play it on the hop. I think that's the smart move there. If it gets past him, that's easily 3 bases for Dennis Pierce.
So Graham Brown, who singled his last at-bat, ducks on the pond for him here, and a chance to extend this Otters 1-run lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. The first pitch in from Foster is taken high for a ball. He starts ahead 1-0. Brown in the right-handed batter's box. Waits the 1-0 pitch. Swings through that one as he pulled the string on him. Count evens up at 1. It's Graham Brown at the plate. JT Benson on deck. Their former colleges, Louisville and Coastal Carolina, playing in the College World Series tomorrow. If Coastal Carolina wins, they're in the championship game. If Louisville wins, they'll play again. That's going to be a fun one to watch as 2 teams that have been playing so well this year. And now it's Brown awaiting the 1-1 pitch as he, out in front of it again, fouls that one off, and now he's behind 1-2. He'll take time as he steps outside the batter's circle, and now he'll walk back in as he resets himself. A couple of back-to-back 77 miles per hour pitches. Had him out in front. We'll see if Foster wants to slow it down even more or try to heat it up on him. But first, check over at first. Nothing doing. Again, with so much different types of velocity at his hand, he could go up at 91, could drop it down all the way to 69 or 65. And now he will look in and deliver the 1-2 pitch. Another off-speed pitch as he fouls that one off as well. That one was hooked just a bit foul. And we'll do it again at 1-2. So Foster opted to go with 70 on that one. 3 straight off-speed pitches. 77, 78, and 70. So he tries to find a way to get a second out with keeping that insurance run over at first. Now the 1-2 pitch into the Otters center fielder. That one is hit high into the air and towards right field, but it's going to hook out of play, and well, we'll do it again.
Really good at bat here from Graham Brown, just staying in it, fighting, fouling everything he sees off. See how it concludes.
Next, the 1-2 pitch once again is taken way up and away, and count evens up at 2. Brown coming into this one with a .311 batting average, a .541 slugging, team leading 11 doubles. 2-2 pitch, up and away again, count runs full. The 23-year-old out of Middletown, Maryland, awaits the payoff pitch in from the pitcher Foster. But first, check over at first once again. Still nothing doing. That's a second pickoff attempt. .72 pitches already here, just in the 4th inning for Kobe Foster. And now the payoff pitch into Brown is lifted high in the air into left field. On his way back is LaGrange at the track. The wall, it's off the wall. 1 run is going to come in and score. Pierce on his way to 3rd. He's going to be held up. Brown on his way to 2nd. And a Deerhead double-decker double gives the Otters another run as they lead 4-2. Still with runners on 2nd and 3rd and only 1 away.
Boy, that's a great way for that at-bat to end for Graham Brown. Such a long battle between him and Foster. Got an up and in fastball and turned on it. Almost got it out of here, but maybe just a little to the jam side for him. Either way, really well struck.
And now an intentional walk of JT Benson. And that will lead to the left-handed hitting Paven Parks with the bases loaded and 1 away.
The shortstop, number 11, Paven Parks.
Man, how great would it be after that intentional walk for Paven to make him pay right here, trying to open this one up.
Paven struck out in his first at-bat, but his second at-bat, he hit a sacrifice fly to right that scored Graham Brown. And now he's got the bases loaded with 1 away. It's Dennis Pierce over at 3rd, Graham Brown on 2nd, now JT Benson at 1st. First pitch into Parks is a bender that just misses inside, and he starts ahead 1-0. And now we'll get a conversation between the catcher Willie Estrada and the pitcher Kobe Foster, as now there's quickly some action out in the Washington bullpen. That was a front door breaker that looked like it was about to hit him, but did well to almost get back in there, but just missed inside at 66 miles per hour. And now Estrada is back behind the plate. As Parks steps into the left-handed batter's box. Has a 1-0 count with the bases loaded here. 1 in, 1 away. Otters leading 4-2 in the bottom of the fourth. The first pitch, next pitch into Parks is swung through. Count evens up at 1. That one at 77 on the inside part of the plate. Foster looking in. Still looking in. Now comes Set with 1 second on the pitch clock. Does get it off. And that pitch just catches the corner. And now he's ahead 1-2. That was very close to a pitch clock violation. Came Set with about 2 seconds left on the clock. But was able to get it away in time. And now Paven has to work from behind 1-2 here. LJ Jones on deck. The pitch laced down the right first baseline. It is brought in by Czech. A toss to first. He's not going to get him. And everybody is safe. A mistake from Andrew Czech. He was going to beat Parks to the bag. Instead, he tossed it to his pitcher, Foster. And Parks beat him out.
And even though that's a mental error right there, that's going to go down as a hit just because of the way the play was. But Andrew Czech has to take that himself. Evansville will certainly take it, but boy, what a mental mistake by the Wild Things first baseman.
That is a wild play that works in the Otters' favor. Another run scores. They now lead 5-2. And it's LJ Jones at the plate who singled his last time up. And now he swings the first pitch at 66 miles per hour. Fouls it off down the third baseline.
Man, at this level, you are not used to seeing 66. That is for sure. Definitely an adjustment having to be made by these Otters hitters, but they're doing it well. Already 10 knocks here in the bottom of the fourth, just 1 away.
The 0-1 pitch into Jones is taken low. Count evens up at 1. LJ Jones at 25 years old, the former draft pick of the St. Louis Cardinals, awaits the 1-1 pitch. Laced into left field. In on it is Lagrange. It's going to drop in front of him. They're going to throw it into third base. It's not going to be in time to get Benson, and another run's going to come into score as they play station to station here at Evansville. So the Otters getting it done in many different ways, and now it leads to Keenan Taylor, who is 2 for 2 with 2 doubles in this one.
Yeah, this is definitely the guy one up right now in this situation. Still only 1 away, and the only out that Foster's gotten here in this inning is one that was given to him by a sacrifice bunt from Alay Camus. So the Otters obviously have found something here this third time through the order.
So Foster back to the stretch, was in the windup in that last at-bat against Jones. Now he's back to the stretch. First pitch into Taylor is taken for a strike. He starts ahead of him 0-1. It's 6 runs on 11 hits for the Otters, matching Kobe Foster's career high, which also came against the Otters. Now the 0-1 pitch into Taylor is fouled off, and now he's going to have to work from behind 0-2. Taylor doing a short walk around the umpire and catcher, and now he's back into the box. Bases loaded with 1 away. It's 3 runs in on this inning. Otters leading 6-2 in the bottom of the fourth. Keenan Taylor with 2 doubles already in this game awaits the 0-2 pitch, but Foster will step off and reset. That's his first of this at-bat. Foster looks into Estrada and comes set. Delivers the 0-2 pitch into the former Purdue Boilermaker. That's fouled off, and we'll do it again. Another 23-year-old rookie that has played some huge roles for the Otters on this offense. JT Benson, one of them. Graham Brown, another. Count still at 0-2 for Keenan Taylor. And the next pitch in the dirt gets by the catcher Estrada. Another run's going to come in to score as all the runners advance. Make it 7-2, Evansville Otters. And man, have the wheels really fallen off in this inning for Kobe Foster. A wild pitch brings in another runner. It's still only one away in this inning, and now there are runners on second and third.
And now we'll see if Keenan can make this one even worse for Washington than it already is.
I say if I'm Foster out there, I'm not giving him a single pitch to hit. The rest of this at bat, I would rather, frankly, walk him than give him something to hit with the way he's been hitting against him. And he steps off for a second time. Count 1-2 into Taylor. He awaits the next pitch from Foster. That one in the dirt as well. Count evens up at 2. Base open now at first. Still only one away in this inning. Logan Brown on deck. Foster looking in, comes set with about 5 seconds left on the pitch clock. Now the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That one in the dirt. Estrada puts the tag on him. And so a big out number 2 for Kobe Foster leads to Logan Brown.
First baseman, number 28, Logan Brown.
Brown singled in his first at-bat. Grounded out his last time up. And now with runners on second and third and 2 away, it tries to add a couple of more runs here for the Otters. The first pitch into the Otters' first baseman, a chopper up the middle. Infante moves over to it, a throw on the run in time for out number 3. So the Otters are officially retired, but not before they put up a 4 spot here in the 4th inning. They lead 7-2 as we head to the 5th. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WIIR.
Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org. For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville Vanderburgh Public Library.
Braden Scott out there for another inning of work, and so are all-you-can-eat wings and fries at Buffalo Wild Wings, Monday through Thursday, now including traditional wings. That's right, all the wings and fries you can eat with your favorite sauce, just $19.99 for boneless and $24.99 for traditional wings. So get all the heavy hitters together and head to Buffalo Wild Wings, Mondays through Thursdays for a limited time only. Dine in only. Visit either Evansville location, 5405 Pearl Drive and 715 North Green River Road for details. So Braden Scott now with a 7-2 lead. Just in the bullpen for a long time, and we'll see how that affects him as he comes in for his 5th inning of work.
When he's been through these spots before where he has long innings where he has to wait through. We'll see how he responds here. Let's hope it's well. I mean, now 7-2, the lead has exploded on him, so he can kind of pitch free and easy.
First pitch is taken for a strike by the 9-hole hitter, Willie Estrada. Scott will deliver the 0-1 pitch. Now is taken just low. Count evens up at 1. Estrada 0 for 1 on the day. One runs inside. Count moves to 2-1. The 30-year-old catcher awaits the 2-1 pitch now from Scott. That one's taken high. Count moves to 3-1. Estrada played a season at Sussex County, a season with Empire State, with Gateway, with Three Rivers. As he floats that one in the air, Parks on his way back, will bring it in for out number 1 just in front of Graham Brown. And now with a big out number 1, it leads it back to the top of the lineup in Cale Chatham.
Right fielder, 32, Cale Chatham.
Chatham still looking for his first hit on the day. Only his 16th appearance on the year. First pitch taken inside. Starts ahead of Scott 1-0. Comes into play with a .238 batting average, a .333 on base percentage. The 1-0 pitch taken for a strike evens it up at 1. Guy that doesn't really strike out, only 8 and 48 plate appearances. Next pitch, chopper foul. Count moves to 1-2. The southpaw Scott against the lefty hitting Cale Chatham with a 1-2 count. From the windup, he delivers. That one is lifted high into the air into foul territory on his way over his Pierce, but that one will get out of play and overhead. An overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it.
Never regret it.
Count still at 1-2. Scott winds up and delivers. That one runs outside. Count evens up at 2. Chatham in his last appearance was a pinch hit appearance. He walked and came around to score against Joliet. He lifts that one high into the air into center field. Parks on his way back out again, but Brown will call it off and bring it in for out number 2. Some good communication there between Paven Parks and Graham Brown, as with 2 quick outs, it will lead to Ethan Wilder.
Shortstop 5, Ethan Wilder.
Wilder enters with a .371 batting average against left-handed pitchers. First pitch, chopper on the ground towards Parks. He'll bring it in on a hop, throw on the run in time for out number 3. So a 1-2-3 inning gets the Otters bats back up in the bottom of the 5th. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND CASA.com. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
New pitcher in for Washington is Jackson Hicks. Behind the play is Estrada. That pitcher-catcher battery, as always, is sponsored by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call 812-475-9000. So Jackson Hicks, in his 13th appearance of the year, currently has a 7.62 ERA, a guy that the Otters can definitely try to hit on. Hicks was coming off a Tommy John surgery, so he missed the 2024 season because of that. Spent some time within the Twins organization, and now is here with Washington. First one to face him will be Justin Felix, who led off the inning last time with an infield single. That one's taken for a strike, starts behind 0-1. Should say it was an error, an infield error, but it was his effort that allowed him to get on base. Now the next pitch swung on and missed, and now Felix is behind 0-2. Hicks currently on a 2.2 1/3 inning scoreless streak. So he's started to find a rhythm. Now the 0-2 pitch into Felix, runs inside and hits him. So had him at 0-2, but lost him, and now a leadoff base runner for the second time in as many innings as Justin Felix, and it will lead to Alay Camus.
He has now reached all 3 times he's been up. An error, fielder's choice, and now hit by pitch. We'll see if they try and set this inning up like they did at the big inning last time and have Camus place down a bunt. Caulfield over at third already expecting it.
Hicks, a guy who struggles with his command. First pitch into Camus. Doesn't square around a bunt. That one's inside. Starts ahead 1-0. Hicks with 11 strikeouts, 11 walks, and that is his 5th hit by pitcher that he is allowed. Now the 1-0 pitch, chopper just foul down the first baseline. We'll see if they try to leave him out there to eat innings. As we mentioned, for both these teams, it's 7 games in 6 days coming up. The starter, Kobe Foster, only going 4 innings. Now the 1-1 pitch, taken low. Count moves to 2-1. Washington coming off a sweep of Joliet. Now in a 7-2 hole against the Otters here. That one from Camus is lifted high into the air, but it's not going to leave the infield as Caulfield's going to get under it and bring it in for out number 1.
Third baseman, number 10, Dennis Pierce.
Those 4 innings pitched matches his lowest output for Foster against these Otters. The other time he went 4 innings, gave up 4 hits. Didn't give up a run, walked 1, and struck out 5. So it seemed more like a shortened start rather than a bad start. Now it's Dennis Pierce. Takes the first pitch for a strike, starts behind 0-1. He's trying to improve on his 2-for-3 day. An RBI, he scored a couple of runs. Now the 0-1 pitch, that one is outside, and count moves to 2-1. Pierce now 5 for 15. Rather 5 for 16 on the year. Next pitch swung through that one. Count moves to 1-2. As Pierce calls time, does a practice swing outside the box. He'll step back into the box as he tries to battle with this 1-2 count. There's a run on first with 1 away. Otters leading 7-2 in the bottom of the 5th. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one is outside in the dirt. Count evens up at 2. A couple of those pitches just haven't even been close to the plate. So the pitcher, Hicks, looks to try to keep this 5-run lead where it's at. 2-2 pitch. Runner takes off. That one in the dirt. No throw down to first. Down to second, rather. It's a stolen base for Justin Felix. An epic stolen base provided by Epic Insurance Midwest.
Evansville Otters baseball.
Felix's first stolen base on the season. He just completely stole that bag off the pitcher, Hicks. A fantastic jump, and then the pitch in the dirt. No chance for the catcher, Estrada, to make that throw down. Count's now full for Dennis Pierce. Next pitch. Number up the middle. That's going to get through for a base hit. Felix is going to round third. He's going to be waved home. He's going to score without a throw. And another RBI hit for Dennis Pierce, his 3rd hit of the game. And the Otters lead 8-2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Dennis Pierce has had such a good start to his 2025 season with Evansville, coming straight off that huge college year he had. And now 3 hits today, 2 ribbies, and an 8-2 Evansville lead. This feels good.
Now it's Graham Brown as he'll step into the box. It was a long double for him in his last at-bat. He's also 2 for 3 in the day, an RBI and a couple of runs scored. First pitch is taken inside for a ball, and he starts ahead 1-0. Hicks from the stretch now delivers the 1-0 pitch. That's fouled off. Count evens up at 1 with the overhead foul ball. Brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best. Never regret it. Fastball that just nicked the top of the zone. Count now at 1-1. To Brown. Pulled the string on him, and now he's behind 1-2. So he'll call time and fix his batting gloves, reset, and step back into the right-handed batter's box. Dennis Pierce over at first. It's 1 away, 1 in. Otters lead 8-2. Next pitch lifted into center field. Hard hit towards Chayka. He'll send him back a couple of steps in front of the warning track, but he does bring it in for out number 2. And it will lead to J.T. Benson to try to extend this 5th inning for the Otters.
That one hard hit. Straight on the line of Chayka. I mean, that was a middle. It's one Graham Brown usually does a lot of damage with, and really any other place of the ballpark other than right at Chayka that is some damage. Good swing. Just got to take that for what it is. Go back to the dugout and know you had a good at-bat.
Now it's Benson who tries to improve on his 1-for-2 day. He was intentionally walked his last time up. That one's laced down the third base line. It's going to get down for a base hit. It's going to go all the way to the wall. On his way to third is Pierce. On his way to second is Benson. And now there are 2 runners in scoring position for Pavin Parks as he tries to get those runners in to extend this lead for the Otters.
Man, this offense right now is on fire. I mean, they are just getting everything to fall, hitting everything hard. That one 104 off the bat from J.T. Benson, down and in. I mean, it's definitely a good sign for Evansville the rest of this series, and good way to start it against the division leader.
So Pavin Parks steps in to try to extend this Otters lead. It's runners on second and third with 2 away for him. And Hicks will step off as he resets. He looks to Estrada and comes set and delivers the first pitch into the Otters shortstop. That one's taken on the outside corner for a strike. And he starts behind Hicks, 0-1. Parks 1 for 2 in the day, a couple of RBIs. It was a sacrifice fly back in his second at-bat. And then an RBI hit his last time. The 0-1 pitch, that one is hard hit but hooking foul down the third base line. And now he's behind 0-2 as he has to battle. Parks back into the box. So he awaits the 0-2 pitch. 2 runners in scoring position for him and a chance to extend this Otters 8-2 lead. Ripped down the first base line. It's going to get down for a base hit. Both runners are going to come in to score. Parks on his way to second. He's going to get in there standing up in a 2 RBI double for Pavin. Parks, Deerhead, double-decker double. And the Otters pouring it on. It's 10-2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Now a 4 RBI day for Pavin Parks, and we're only in the 5th inning. I mean, this team has 14 hits in the 5th. I mean, they are just killing it right now.
And now it's LJ Jones as he tries to keep this onslaught going. He hits it hard towards third. Caulfield on the run, brings it in, throws the first in time for out number 3, but the Otters score 3 more. They lead 10-2 as we head to the 6th. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and More can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org.
Back to you, Zane. Thanks, Josh. 1999 boneless.
Back here at historic Bosse Field as the Otters lead 10-2 over the Washington Wild Things. I'm Lucas Macklin alongside my partner Riley Angel.
Limited time only. Have you seen
You're listening on 96.9 WYIR and the Otters Digital Network and Home Team Network. Remember that Home Team Network is the exclusive home of every Frontier League game this year. Check out the Home Team Network to sign up today and get a front row seat to every Otters game this year. Tommy Caulfield, the first to meet Braden Scott, out there for his 6th inning of work. He has been very efficient for the Otters. He's given up 4 hits, 2 runs, walked 1, struck out 4. He already has the longest outing by an Otter with a 7-inning outing in his last out. The first pitch into Caulfield is taken for a strike, starts ahead of him 0-1. Caulfield awaits the 0-1 pitch as he takes that one inside for a ball. Count evens up at 1-1. Caulfield 0 for 2 in the day with a strikeout. He stands in the left-handed batter's box. The 1-1 pitch is swung through, and now he's behind 1-2. He'll take time as he steps out. Caulfield coming in with a .267 batting average, a couple of home runs and 3 doubles. Now the 1-2 pitch in the dirt. Count evens up at 2. Count even up at 2. Braden Scott trying to get this first out of the 6th inning. That one is hit hard on the ground towards second. It's brought in by Camus. Toss soft throw over to second. And with 1 away, It will lead to Tyreek Reed.
Designated hitter 31, Tyreek Reed.
Reed, who's DHing today. 0 for 1, drew a walk earlier and came around to score. He also struck out. First pitch, Bender finds the back door, and he's behind 0-1. Reed in his second season with the Wild Things. That one is taken just high. Count evens up at 1. Last year finished with a .341 batting average, good enough to be the batting champion of the Frontier League. Next pitch is taken for a strike. Catches the corner, and now it's 1-2. And that's not the first time that Reed's had words for the home plate umpire, Robert Moreno. He was rung up looking in his first at-bat. Now Reed calls time as he tries to reset himself. Batting average down so far for Reed this year. It's only at .252, but his on-base percentage at .417 is right around where it was last year. He's done a much better job at drawing walks. That pitch swung on a miss for strike 3, blew it by him at 91. A German-American bank strikeout as Reed breaks the bat over his knee. That is some strength right there.
Courtesy of our friends at Newhouse Lumber, proud partner of the Evansville Otters.
And now with 2 away, it'll be the first baseman, Andrew Check.
Wow, that was aggressive. Can't say I've ever seen that in person.
Now the first pitch into Check is taken for a ball. Count it 1-0. Now the 1-0 pitch is taken for a strike. Count evens up at 1. I mentioned this a few times, not just this series, but the last time we saw him, that Andrew Check, the franchise leader in home runs for Washington, swings through that one as he pulled the string on him. Count moves to 1-2. And now Check calls time as he tries to figure his way back into this at-bat. Tell you what, these 3, 4, 5 hitters, still no hits in this one. Now the 1-2 pitch. Swung on a miss for strike 3. Another German-American bank strikeout. Braden Scott's sixth strikeout of the night. So we head to the bottom of the 6th. Otters still lead 10-2. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville-Vanderburgh Public Library. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND CASA.com.
We're dancing the YMCA here at historic Bosse Field as the Otters leading the Washington Wild Things 10-2, and this offense has just been on fire in this one. We've been saying it all night, but they have been showing up in a huge game against one of the best starters in the Frontier League.
Yeah, they've exploded. They exploded for 7 runs off of him and then 3 runs off of Hicks, who is still out there last inning to make it a 10-2 ball game. It's something we haven't seen so far this year from the Evansville team, this amount of runs this early in the game. We knew they can do it. We know when they're hot that, boy, they're hard to stop, and they've definitely shown it tonight.
And it's Keenan Taylor, the first to meet Hicks here in the 6th inning of this ball game. He takes the first pitch for a strike, starts behind 0-1. Keenan Taylor had 2 doubles in his first 2 at-bats, struck out swinging his last time up. And now Hicks, who pitches from the stretch, the 0-1 pitch. Chopper towards third, Caulfield in on it, but it's going to go foul, and count moves to 0-2. Just can't say enough about what Keenan Taylor has come to do with this team. He entered the game with a .626 slugging percentage. Obviously, a couple of doubles is going to help that. A .436 on-base percentage. An Indiana guy through and through, played a season at Butler, played his last 2 seasons at Purdue, and he is taking the Frontier League by storm in his rookie season. Now the 0-2 pitch, in from Hicks. Hard hit towards short, past the glove of Wilder. That's going to be a leadoff base knock for Keenan Taylor. And the Otters are back rocking here with their offense. And now it's Logan Brown.
Number 28, Logan Brown.
1 for 3 on the day, trying to just keep hitting. He went 6 for 9 in the series against Windy City. Had the game-winning double in Game 2 and then the game-winning home run in Game 3. And now he awaits the first pitch here from Hicks. Takes that for a strike, and he starts behind 0-1. The pride of the University of Southern Indiana awaits the 0-1 pitch. That one in the dirt, past Estrada. And Taylor's going to take second base easily as the count evens up at 1. Count now at 1-1. Logan Brown awaits the next pitch from Hicks. That one is hit hard into center field. Chayka on his way back is going to get under it. Taylor is going to tag for third. He's going to get in there easily. And so a sacrifice fly for Logan Brown with 1 away as a runner on third for Justin Felix. .102 off the bat for Logan Brown there, but again, just another hard hit ball that's right to the center fielder, Chayka.
Justin Felix.
Now it's Justin Felix. Still looking for his first hit of the game, but he scored 2 runs. The first pitch swung through on the bender. Now he's behind 0-1. It was a run in the first inning on a Dennis Pierce solo shot. Then 2 runs in the third, 4 in the fourth, and 3 in the fifth as Felix fouls that one off, and now he's to fight from behind 0-2. And now the Otters threatening here once again in the 6th inning. They run on in third with only 1 away, but Justin Felix at the plate with 2 strikes. Looked like he fouled that last pitch off his foot, so he'll call time as he tries to get back in this at-bat and, again, just try to put something in play here to score Keenan Taylor from third. He's back into the box. Count 0-2. Jackson Hicks will come set and deliver the next pitch into Felix. That one in the dirt. That one gets past Estrada. Taylor's going to come in from third. He's going to get in safely. Another run scores on a wild pitch. Otters now lead 11-2. Just feels like for Washington, nothing can go their way. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong. That is a heartbreaker of a way to score another run for the Otters. Now it's Justin Felix, a 1-2 count with no one on. Next pitch, didn't mean to, but swung through it. That's a strikeout for Hicks. And with 2 away, it'll be the 9-hole hitter, Alay Camus.
Second baseman.
And right now, Evansville just has to continue to put together good at bat. Sometimes when you have a lead like this, it can be tempting to just be complacent, go up there, not really have a approach at the plate. But they just have to have that same mindset they had when this ball game started and continue to pile it on.
First pitch to Camus, swinging, fouls that one off the mesh fence.
Brought to you by Ed's Construction. Choose the best, never regret it.
So Camus behind 0-1 as he tries to extend this 6th inning. Laced hard into center field. Chayka is going to have to move back a little bit on it. Now he's going to have to go way back on it. Leaps for it. And did he catch it? He did. So it looks like he misread it off the bat. It carried more than he thought, but he is able to still make the play. An athletic jumping catch to get the Wild Things out of the inning. The Otters do score one. They lead 11-2 as we head to the final 3 frames. You're listening to the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org. Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and More can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org.
Braden Scott back on the mound for a 7th inning of work. 11-2, Evansville in front here at historic Bosse Field. I'm Riley Angel alongside my partner Lucas Macklin. Boy, what an offensive showing for the Otters, but kind of being outshined by the offense right now is this guy, Braden Scott.
Yeah, he's looked really good, and he's honestly looked better as the game gone on. 6th inning, went 1-2-3, struck out the last 2 batters he saw. He's been on point, and even though he's had to deal with some long innings, some long breaks in the bullpen or in the dugout, it hasn't really affected him.
No one has been up and warming yet for Evansville, so manager Andy McCauley going to ride his ace until it gives out. It'll be Wagner, Lagrange, Robert Chayka, and Sammy Infante, the 3 due up to face Braden Scott here. Scott has sent down 7 straight. Lagrange, right-handed hitter, leaning back in that right box. The pitch in there for a strike at the letters, 0-1. Sun has completely set here in Bosse Field. We are under the lights. The 0-1 pitch. In there on the outside corner, 0-2. This the first 9-inning game we've played, and it seems like a month and a half, even though it's only been about a week.
At least at this park, it's been a minute.
The 0-2 swung on and missed, strike 3. 7th German-American Bank strikeout for Braden Scott. I mean, it feels like this should be the last inning. Top of the 7th, 11-2.
And right now, Scott only at 93 pitches. He's gone over 100, we mentioned, in every single one of his starts except for his first one. So no reason for them to pull him anytime soon.
First pitch to Chayka is inside for a ball, 1-0. The velocity, it seems, every single outing, it gets harder as the game goes on. 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed, 1-1. 2 straight fastballs at 89 for Scott. Infield straight up, same with the outfield. Top 7, 11-2 Otters. The pitch. Just misses inside on the fastball. 2-1. 1 in the first, 2 in the third, 4 in the fourth, 3 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth for the Otters to get to 11. 15 hits en route to that as the 2-1 pitch. Inside 3-1. For Washington, it was 1 in the second, 1 in the fourth. They've had 4 hits in this one, in error as well. Beautiful night here in Bosse Field. This morning, very overcast, dark skies above the 3-1. Swung on, line drive just past the reaching glove of Pavin Parks into left field. So that's going to be a 1-out single for Robert Shaka. His second single, third time he's reached. But those overcast clouds parted ways. We saw a little bit of sunlight this afternoon. Help it dry the field out a little bit. And boy, with tomorrow's forecast, you really hope we see some sun tomorrow to get the second one of this 4-game set in. Remember, a doubleheader Thursday, so a thirsty Thursday here at Bosse Field. Here's the first pitch to Infante. Bender in there for a strike, 0-1. Tonight, $2 Tuesday as well as Taco Tuesday down the first base line.
It's also what we call Train Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
The loud train that likes to come through here early in these ball games on Tuesday.
Never miss it. You can never miss it. There was one pregame while I was out on the concourse area as the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, 0-2. Thought my ears were bleeding. It was so loud. Runner on first base is Cheka. 0-2 the count, 11-2 the Otters lead. Scott sets the left-handed pitcher out of the stretch. The 0-2. Cold strike, 3 at the letters. 8th German-American Bank strikeout for Braden Scott. That's now 2 straight starts with 8 strikeouts.
Catcher 23, Willie Estrada.
Here's Willie Estrada. 0 for 2. Sets to Scott. The pitch. Outside, 1-0. It's been a good night for Evansville fans. One-0 pitch. Swung on, grounded through the 5.5 hole into left field for a single. So now runners on first and second as the lineup flips over. Still no one up in the bullpen. They're going to let Scott work through pretty much anything at this point, given the 9-run lead and how thin the bullpen has become, especially with the purchase of Griff Hughes, Jack Washburn being released the day before. As now there's finally some action getting started, it looks like. That being Ross Thompson, the newcomer. Scott now works with the runners on first and second. The pitch to Chatham. High. 1-0. Boy, and that's a pitch that he called strike 3 on Avante. A ball, no strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Outside, 2-0. Justin Felix out to the mound to have a word with his battery mate. Again, 11-2 the score. Here in this one, top 7. Scott trying to work through the 7th inning, save some innings for the arms in the pen. Especially with this 4-game set in just 3 days, you'd really like Scott to get through this inning and just allow the last 2 for some arms. Maybe even just go 1 arm through those 2 innings. We'll see. Scott sets the 2-0 offering now to Cale Cheatham. Is low. 3-0 to Cheatham. Two on, two out. Infield playing, Cheatham to pull. The pitch. Inside, ball 4. So bases now loaded
Shortstop,
as Scott walks
Ethan
Cheatham.
Wilder.
That just the second walk. He did have a hit by pitch, did Scott. As here comes Max Peterson. We'll see if this is it for Braden Scott. Slow walk to the mound, has yet to signal. Looks like there won't be a change. He's just out there talking to the entire infield currently.
I mean, you got 2 outs here in this inning. You just need to get the batter at the plate. You have a big lead here, which allows for some leniency on that leash. So you trust in your veteran here, and Braden Scott, who's looked so good today and has looked really good in an Otters uniform since he's been an Otter.
Now, it is worth noting that with Cheatham being the leadoff guy, this is the 4th time through the order for Braden Scott. Here's Ethan Wilder. Agrees with Felix to Scott. Out of the stretch, the pitch. In there for a strike, 0-1.
That was pitch 108 of the night for Scott. His season high being 110.
The 0-1. Down and in, 1-1. Infield straight up, same with the outfield. Top 7, 11-2 the score, Evansville in front. 2 outs, bases loaded for Washington. 1-1 the count. Scott sets, hands belt high. The pitch. Misses inside, count 2-1. So Wilder now ahead in the count against Scott. Again, Thompson is up in the pen. Seems to be loose. The pitch. Called a strike on the inner half, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Base is loaded. Top 7. Scott nods in agreement. Sets the pitch. Swung on, shot the opposite way into the netting. We'll do it again at 2-2. That one getting up to 90 miles an hour for Scott. Wilder just 1 for 3 entering this at-bat. The 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. 9th German-American Bank strikeout, strands the bases loaded. Scott, brilliant through 7. It's stretch time. We go to the bottom half, 11-2 Otters on the Otters Digital Network at 96.9 WYIR.
Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back, and we'll root for the Otters. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Nicely done. Let's get some more rounds.
For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville Vanderburgh Public Library.
Fans having a great time at the ballpark here in the bottom half of the 7th. 11-2 the score here in this bottom of the 7th inning. It's still Jackson Hicks on the bump for Washington. It'll be the top of the order: Dennis Pierce, Graham Brown, J.T. Benson, the 3 due up.
Brandon Taylor's favorite. Tickets at EvansvilleOtters.com.
Pierce,
Top of the order,
3 for 4, stands in on the right side. 2 singles, a homer, 2 ribbies.
Dennis Pierce.
Boy, that leadoff homer he had seems like years ago at this point, all the way back in the first. Hicks, right-handed pitcher, sets, stands far first base side. The pitch, swung on and missed out in front of the breaker. It's 0-1. Owen won the count. Here it is. Swung on, slow chopper to short. Charging is Wilder. Fields throws in time for the first out. Hard to think that
Center fielder.
this here in the 7th inning, already the 5th time through this Otters order, as Graham Brown stands in 2 for 4. Every Otter except for one has reached tonight. First pitch to Graham Brown. Swung on and fouled right back off the catcher. Foul, and immediately Estrada seems to be in some pain.
I think it was actually the bat that hit him.
Yep.
And can be a really tough injury. Last year, the Cardinals saw Wilson Contreras deal with that. That is obviously super unfortunate for the catcher Estrada.
And believe it or not, that is the 3rd time now this season already that Graham Brown has reached via catcher's interference, as Estrada is still dealing with it behind first base and, behind home plate. And at this point, with it being a 9-run game, the question is, even if he says he's okay, do you bring in the backup catcher anyway just to make sure? As again, with Graham Brown, he does stand very far back there in the way catchers are taught now, especially at the pro level, to stand a little closer to try and steal that low strike. It's hard. They're gonna, it looks like, bring in a new catcher. So they called for someone out of the pen. Again, this is just such a tough situation as a catcher. And again, against a guy in Graham Brown who stands so far back in the box, as yes, that's going to be Estrada's day. So it'll be Jamer Hernandez now behind the plate. So Hernandez will now replace Estrada.
19, Jamer Hernandez.
And Estrada going back to the dugout. We hope he's all right. It's just such a tough play for a catcher. But it will be J.T. Benson now with a runner on first in Graham Brown. It's so crazy that Graham Brown has already reached 3 times via catcher's interference this year.
Right fielder, number 9, J.T. Benson.
It's one of those things that you never think you'd say or hear. J.T. Benson stands in 2 for 3, intentionally walked in the 4th, a double, a single, a stolen base. First pitch to Benson. Inside, 1-0. Benson, right-handed hitter. Graham Brown, small lead over at first. Wouldn't expect him to go in a 9-run game. The 1-0. Low, 2-0. Evansville has had a base runner on in every inning so far in this one. Hicks looks back towards first. 2-0 pitch. Swung on, fouled right back. It's 2-1. And only 2 catchers listed on the Wild Things roster. That's interesting. Usually you have an emergency catcher listed for the bullpen, but Washington just with 2. Two-one pitch to Benson. Swung on, grounded to third. Bobbling it is Caulfield, and there's going to be no play anywhere. That is the second time it has eaten him up over there at the hot corner. Probably will be scored an error. Boy, just a tough day over there at third for Caulfield.
And this field claims another victim with its awkward bounces. That one came up at the last second. He just couldn't handle it, and with JT Benson's speed, there was almost no chance to get him over at first.
Here's Pavin Parks. 4 RBI on the day for Pavin.
It's a second error on Caulfield.
Two for 3 is Parks, a sac fly, a double, a single, all of those resulting in runs scoring. First pitch that he sees from Hicks is swung on and grounded foul down the first base side. It's 0-1.
Interesting here. It looks like Ryan Chassey's down, the left-handed pitcher out of the bullpen. Looks like he's ready, but they don't bring him in to face the left-handed hitting Pavin Parks in this spot.
The pitch. Swung on and missed, 0-2. L.J. Jones on deck. After him would be Keenan Taylor. Parks standing in on the left side. Hicks looks in. Sets hands belt high. The pitch. In the dirt, skips away from Hernandez. That'll allow Graham Brown to reach third. So now runners on the corners with 2 away after the wild pitch. Parks steps in once again. Hicks agrees with Hernandez, sets far first base side, the pitch. In the dirt, that one blocked, 2-2.
I think what's even crazier about this game, the Otters have still not drawn a single walk. They've been hit by a pitch. Obviously, Graham Brown just reached on a catcher's interference, but they have not drawn a walk yet.
The pitch. Swung on, popped high in the air, third base side, but drifting foul and overhead. Overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it.
Heads Construction. Choose the best. Never regret it.
2 balls, 2 strikes, in and out. Bottom 7, 11-2. Evansville. The pitch. Swung on, popped in the air, slicing foul and out of play left field line.
That original ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best. Never regret it.
Quite a day for this Evansville offense. Pavin looking to continue that good day. Couple of base runners on, 1 out. The pitch. Swung on, high fly ball left center field. Racing towards it, Shakeup. He makes the catch in medium deep left center. This will be enough to score the run. Make that now a 10-run lead for Evansville, 12-2 on the sac fly.
And that's now the 5th RBI on the night for Pavin Parks. He's done a great job. Second time he's hit a sacrifice fly to score Graham Brown. He's just making the right plays. He's 2 for 3 with a couple of sac flies. It's one of those big nights from Pavin Parks.
Here's L.J. Jones. The pitch. Swung on off the end of the bat, grounder to second. Infante flips to first for the third out. So the Otters score once again. It's a 10-run lead, 12-2. You're listening on the Otters Digital Network at 96.9 WYIR.
Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND CASA.com. Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
New pitcher in for Evansville as Braden Scott's phenomenal day comes to an end. It's Ross Thompson, the newcomer for the Otters.
Yeah, and they just acquired him from Tri-City, and he's had a really good start to the year. He's pitched in 13 2/3 innings. He's appeared in 5 games, and he's pitched to a 1.32 ERA. He's done a great job. He can give you length. I wouldn't be shocked if they went with him for 2 innings here. In his last appearance for Tri-City back on June 8th, he went 4 1/3, gave 3 hits, and gave up a run, didn't walk anybody, and struck out 1. So, again, he's had a really good start to this season, and especially after the signing of Griff Hughes, the releasing of Jack Washburn, this is a big arm to add into that back end of the bullpen for the Otters.
Thompson and Felix, your battery. That pitcher-catcher battery sponsored by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call at 812-475-9000. Braden Scott's day comes to an end after 7 great innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, a season high, 9 strikeouts. After just setting a season high, his last outing with 8. Here's Tommy Caulfield, the first pitch to him from Thompson. In there for a strike on the back door. It's 0-1. Caulfield today 0 for 3. As the 0-1 pitch is outside and pops out of the mid of Felix, 1-1. A ball, a strike, nobody out. The pitch. Swung on and missed, 1-2. Next one, swung on and missed for strike 3, Ross Thompson. With his first German-American Bank strikeout here in an Otters uniform.
Designated hitter, 31, Tyreek Reed.
Now Tyreek Reed. Well, he has a new bat after snapping the last one. He had like a toothpick over his knee. He's 0 for 2, struck out twice and walked. First pitch he sees. Misses inside, 1-0. In case you're just joining us, 12-2, 10-run lead, Evansville, top 8. They have exploded. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on, high fly ball into right, fairly deep right center. Back on it, Benson nearing the track. Gives way to Graham Brown, who makes the catch for the second out. So 2 quick outs for Thompson.
First baseman, Andrew Check.
Andrew Check stands in. 0 for 3, a couple of Ks, a ground out. The towering left-handed hitter stands in. Thompson sets the pitch. Outside, it's 1-0. That changeup must have some crazy movement on it behind the plate to see Felix struggling like this to snag it. Thompson sets, hands beginning belt high, now extended out beyond his chest, the 1-0. Swung on, grounded hard, foul down the first baseline. It's 1-1. A ball, a strike, 2 outs, the pitch. Swung on, high fly ball, deep right field. Back on it, Vincent. Watching it fly is Check. Oh boy, that's on Heidelbach. 12-3.
And he just left that 80 mile per hour changeup middle, and Check a guy. That's his 10th home run of the year. He sent that one deep.
Sadly, our track man wasn't able to get that distance, but
Wagner LeBron.
I can tell you, I mean, he knew it was off the bat. I think everyone in this place knew it was off the bat. Probably, my guess, 455. It's my official guess. Now Wagner Lagrange, he takes outside for a ball, 1-0. Thankfully, still 12-3. So, all things considered, I think we're okay. Lagrange 1 for 3. The next pitch he sees is outside, 2-0. And you would imagine that Ross Thompson is going to remain in this ball game for the end of it. I mean, even if he gives up a couple of runs, that's fine. 2-0 pitch. Finally finds his own on the down and away corner. It's 2-1. Definitely don't want to wear out that bullpen given the amount of games we're playing. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here it is. Up and in, jumping out of the way is Lagrange out of the right-handed side. 3-1. That changeup has been an interesting pitch for Thompson. Seems to have a good amount of movement. Just can't locate it right now. 3-1 the count, 2 away. 12-3, Washington with 1 score at the pitch. Swung on, hit the opposite way on the ground, and threw for a base hit into right. So a single for Lagrange brings up Robert Shaka.
Center fielder, 1, Robert Shaka.
Shaka is 2 for 2. Hit by pitch, an RBI.
And he is the one Wild thing that started this game to not have a strikeout.
First pitch he sees is up and in for a ball. 1-0. The next one, right down central, a ball and a strike. There's now a meeting on the mound between Felix and the pitcher in Thompson. Tomorrow, Evansville, same place, same time, weather permitting. 6:35 p.m. Central here at Bosse Field against Washington. Tell you what, forecast tomorrow, we're going to hope just dies down a tad. That's the hope. Not much movement on it from earlier in the week. Hopefully Mother Nature plays nice. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on, hit in the air and foul overhead. Overhead foul ball brought to you by Heads Construction. Choose the best, never regret it. A ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Thompson looks in and sets out of the stretch the 1-2. In the dirt, blocked by Felix, 2-2. Again, Thompson, a new addition from Windy City. It is to note that Josh Gibson was also moved to Windy City. The pitch. Called strike, 3 outer half. So Thompson gets his second German-American Bank strikeout of the inning, but not before Andrew Check. Solo homer makes it 12-3. Evansville still up by 9. You're listening on the Otters Digital Network and on 96.9 WYIR.
Maintaining our independence becomes more and more vital as we age. Swerka and More can help you navigate this important journey by answering your questions and connecting you to free and unbiased community resources and support services. If you are seeking advice for yourself or a loved one, let Swerka be your first call. More information available at swerka.org or by calling 812-464-7800. Originally opening in 2004, Jacobs Village has been a home for adults with disabilities, giving these great residents a wonderful opportunity to live life just like you and me. Jacobs Village mission is to continue building a safe, walkable neighborhood community where people with disabilities and older adults can find meaningful relationships, affordable and accessible housing, and activities to keep their bodies and minds engaged. We can't wait to have Jacobs Village at the ballpark on July 3rd for our annual Red, White, and Blue Night. More information on this great community partner is available at jacobsvillage.org.
It's Ryan Chassis in to pitch for Washington. He relieves Jackson Hicks. Chassis so far this year on the road has pitched well. Pitched for the the Florida Complex League Blue Jays last year at just 4 games. We'll see how he does here against Evansville. Jackson Hicks exits, going just 3 innings, giving up 4 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned, striking out 1. First pitch here to Keenan Taylor from the left-handed Chassis. Up and in for a ball, 1-0.
And Chassie's appearance against the Otters earlier in the year, he pitched an inning and struck out 2 and didn't give up a hit or a walk. So had their number then. We'll see what he can do now.
1-1, swung on and missed. Now 1-1. Evansville has put a pounding on Washington tonight, to say the very least. 12-3 the score. They've scored in every inning except the second, the pitch. High, 2-1.
And speaking of pounding, Joliet beating Florence 13-4. Lake Erie did beat New Jersey 5-0 off a 6 2/3 shutout outing from Anthony Escobar.
2-1. Inside 3-1.
And then a 2 1/3 inning save for former Otter Brandon Sittinger.
Sittinger appeared twice out of the bullpen for Lake Erie. Pitched very well against his former team. The 3-1. Outside, ball 4. So Keenan Taylor reaches via the walk. His good day continues, brings up Logan Brown.
Chassis with great strikeout stuff, a 14.4 strikeout per 9 rate, but walks a lot of batters. That's his 13th walk of the year, a walk rate of around 7.5.
Now with Florence trailing currently, and if both these scores hold as the first pitch to Logan Brown is low for a ball, 1-0. That would mean Evansville would skip ahead of Florence in the standings to 3rd, so they would gain a game on them. The 1-0, pick off throw to first, and they got him. So Keenan Taylor picked off here in this 8th. Good pickoff move from Chassis. Always tough with a left-handed pitcher. The 1-0 to Brown. Swung on and missed, 1-1. So the leadoff walk erased for Chassis. There is action in the Evansville pen, the pitch. Swung on and missed, 1-2. Got him chasing out in front. There's Nolan Thebe in the pen for Evansville. The 1-2. Swung on, high chopper foul down the first base side. We'll do it again at 1-2. Boy, how about Gateway and Schaumburg? That slugfest. 11-10 in the bottom of the sixth. Those two teams are going to be battling all year long. The 1-2. Swung on, grounded up the middle. Just getting it is Wilder. Spin throw to first in time. Oh, boy. And I thought Logan Brown beat it by about a step and a half.
That felt like a "you're winning by 9, let's get out of here" call. But on the replay, it looked like it was a bang-bang play, and I do think the call is right. A tough play could really go either way, but
Felix, the first pitch he sees is swung on and fouled right back. It's 0-1.
I got to give credit to Ethan Wilder. A spin throw, a tough play over at short to cut down the runner Logan Brown, who was trying to get his second hit of the night.
Oh, and 1 pitch. Low, 1-1.
Otters 1 through 6, all with multi-hit games. Yeah, I'm watching that replay one more time. It is clear that Brown was beat by about a fourth of a step.
Oh, that's why I'm up here. The 1-1. Swung on, grounded to third. Fielding it is Caulfield. Throw to first is in time for the third out. So the Otters go 1, 2, and 3 here in the 8th. We go to the 9th. Otters trying to close out this slugfest of a win. You're listening on the Otters Digital Network at 96.9 WYIR.
For the last 5 years, the Evansville African American Museum and the Evansville Otters have partnered together to offer tickets at no cost for the whole family for the Juneteenth Negro Leagues Baseball Tribute. All are invited to celebrate Juneteenth with us on June 19th for the annual Salute to the Negro Leagues game. Pre-game activities start at 4:30 with first pitch scheduled for 5:05. For information on these tickets, fans can stop by the Evansville African American Museum at 579 Sandra Matthews Way in Evansville or any local Evansville-Vanderburgh Public Library. Right now in Vanderburgh County, over 800 children are in the child welfare system waiting for someone to be their voice, and you could be that voice by becoming a court-appointed special advocate, a CASA volunteer. Donating just a few hours a month of your time can change a child's life forever. Vanderburgh County CASA invites you to join them. Stand up, speak out, be for the child, be a CASA. For more information, visit vandcasa.com. That's VAND CASA.com.
Nolan Thebe on to the mound to face this Washington Wild Things order. We'll see how he does here, just 3 outs away from getting a crucial first game of this series win against the first place Wild Things. And boy, Evansville has slugged their way to it. 12-3, the score here in this top half of the 9th inning. It'll be Infante, Estrada, and Chatham. The three do up, not Estrada. It'll be Jamer Hernandez for Willie Estrada in the 9-hole.
Yeah, and Thebe's been fun to start the year. In his last outing, he looked his best. Back on June 11th, pitched 2 innings, gave up a hit, struck out 3, didn't give up a run. He hasn't given up a run all year yet, and he didn't walk anybody in that outing, which is probably the biggest thing with him. If he can control his stuff, he's got some really good stuff.
First pitch to Infante is right down central, 0-1. Infante tonight is 1 for 3. He got picked off back in the second inning after an RBI single. The 0-1. Bender in there at the knees. It's 0-2 now. So no balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. 12-3 Evansville. The pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Nolan Thebe, his first German-American Bank strikeout.
He basically put it up as high as he could and was like, hey, if you want to swing at it, go for it. And, well, Infante did just that.
That is now 12 strikeouts total for this Evansville pitching staff, as Jamer Hernandez stands in, replacing Willie Estrada. Remember, Willie Estrada had to be subbed for after a catcher's interference call, and we hope he's all right.
And you mentioned 12 strikeouts for the Otters pitching staff. The Otters hitters have only struck out 4 times in this game. They've been great at putting the ball in play.
First pitch to Hernandez. Up and in for a ball, 1-0. So a ball, no strikes, 1 out. The pitch. Swung on, fouled back into the screen, 1-1.
I'll tell you what, that was coming right at us.
I'm ready to make a play, are you?
Oh, I'm always ready to make a play.
Tell you what, up in Lake Erie, with the way the press box is situated down the third base line, in the netting, you're a little higher than the netting is, as the 1-1 from Thebe. Inside, 2-1. If there wasn't a window in front of me that I had closed because of the wind and me trying to protect all my papers, there was a ball that came right at the press box, banged on the window, and fell down. Made a pretty big scuff mark. The 2-1 pitch. Checked his swing. He did go around. It's 2-2.
So I like the press boxes that you are down third baseline, or down the first baseline typically. But I like being down either one of them. And maybe that's just a preference thing because Colton baseball it up at IU, and that's kind of where we were down the first baseline. Always like that angle.
It's a different angle, that's for sure. This is the first time I've ever called a game down either side. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Thebe with his second German-American Bank strikeout. Now, Cale Chatham. Evansville just 1 out away from their 15th win of the season, trying to get a game up on Washington and on Florence. Chatham hitless, 0 for 3 with a walk. The first pitch he sees is in there for a strike, 0-1.
Say Lake Erie's got to be jumping for joy right now. They lost a game and a half during Washington's doubleheader with Joliet when Lake Erie lost, and Washington won both of their games. And now they, more than likely, assuming the Otters don't blow this up, will gain another game back with their win as well.
0-1 fouled off, 0-2.
Lake Erie, the only team that was coming off a loss in the Central Division coming into today's ball games.
And with Florence's assumed loss today, unless they make a miraculous comeback, that would bump Evansville up to third place now. The 0-2 pitch. Just outside, 1-2.
It's a good spot for that one.
A ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Thebe sets hands just above the belt. The 1-2. Bounced it, 2-2. 12-3 Evansville, top 9 and out away from this series opening win against the first place Wild Things. A game that began as a back and forth in the first 2 innings, exploded after a 4-run fourth. Really opened up this Evansville offense. Had 14 hits through just 6 innings. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Nolan Thebe strikes out the side to give the Evansville Otters their 15th win of the year, 12-3, the final. When we come back, we'll talk more about it on the Papa John's postgame show. You're listening on the Otters Digital Network at 96.9 WYIR.
Ballet Indiana is made up of local ballet professionals, dedicated parents, and community members in order to provide unique and life-enriching experiences for hundreds of young dancers, while carrying out their mission to inspire a lifelong appreciation for dance for both our dancers and the Evansville community. More information on Ballet Indiana and information about their upcoming performances is available at balletindiana.org.
12-3, the final. Evansville winning this one over Washington. You're listening to the Papa John's postgame show. Papa John's is the official sponsor of the Otters pregame and postgame shows, available every game night, 20 minutes before and 10 minutes after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network, the Home Team Network, and on 96.9 WYIR. Lucas, a really big win for Evansville here tonight in the opener against Washington, 12-3. The offense exploding, especially in that 4th inning where they scored 4, the 5th inning where they scored 3. Man, it just feels really nice for the offense to come alive in a really big series opener like this one is tonight.
Yeah, and where every game starts at the starting pitcher is Braden Scott. We felt really good about him. His second straight outing where he goes 7 innings, only gives up 2 runs, strikes out 9 to 2 walks. And on the other end, Kobe Foster, who we thought could match that, only went 4 innings, gave up 11 hits, 6 earned runs, 7 runs total, struck out 3, didn't walk anybody. And it was one of those things where, with how good he had been against the Otters his entire career, we were worried, like, okay, is it going to be another one of these outings? It wasn't. The Otters came to play, and they hit the ball off of him hard. Mentioned that the Otters batters 1 through 6, all with multi-hit games. A fantastic outing from this Otters offense.
How about Dennis Pierce coming into this team mid-season and really showing what he's made of? A leadoff homer, 2 singles. Other than that, he has shown a really good side of himself here to begin his tenure as an Evansville Otter.
He did a really good job at battling out at bats tonight. I think that's what the biggest thing I saw from him was just battling out good at bats and then putting the bat on the ball. Obviously, that home run to start the game off is huge, but just being able to put the bat on the ball, find holes, get those hits, drive in the runs, a couple of RBIs. He scored 3 runs, just doing it all out there on the offensive side of the ball.
Paven Parks, 5 RBI. We've been waiting for a breakout for him. It seems like this past week or so, that's been exactly what this is. With 5 ribbies tonight, 2 sac flies, a double and a single.
And the way he'd been taking at bats and the way he'd been hitting the ball, it felt like it was only a matter of time. And again, the big thing is that had a couple of at bats where he had 2 strikes and a runner on third with less than 2 outs, and he did the smart thing. He was able to wait on those pitches and just drive it to the outfield and do enough to score those runners. Those were the really big at-bats. And then also a couple of big hits, including a 2 RBI double down the line. Just a huge game from him and a huge game from this offense. Obviously, in general, that 5 RBI game, the most from any single player in any game this year for the Otters.
Again, the final 12-3 Evansville with 12 runs on 15 hits, no errors. Washington, 3 runs, 8 hits. They committed 2 errors here tonight. You listen to the Papa John's postgame show. Papa John's is the official sponsor of the Otters pregame and postgame shows, available every game night, 20 minutes before and 10 minutes after each Otters game on the Otters Digital Network, the Home Team Network, and on 96.9 WYIR. Lucas, any final thoughts?
It's good to see Ross Thompson get through that inning. Did give up a run. Obviously, is unfortunate, but then Nolan Thebe striking out the side in the final inning to shut the door. Obviously, it wasn't a safe situation by any means, but we said he looks good, especially when he controls stuff, and he did that tonight, and that's a huge sign for this team coming up after losing Griff Hughes out of their bullpen.
Well, with that, again, the final 12-3, Evansville beating Washington. Thank you so much for joining us here on this Tuesday night, and as always, Have a good night.